Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Welcome back to a new brand vlogging. It's called street vlogging. That's where we iron out things and we chat on the way forward to many things. Remember, this channel is informative, educative, and entertaining. Um, so that's why you need to support this channel. Remember to like all our videos, don't leave some, like all of them. Remember also to go to the comment section and drop a comment in support and ideas which will help us to move forward. And remember to share to your friends, and remember also to subscribe if you have not done that, because by subscribing you are helping us to move to a higher platform. Thank you for always joining us, and we are going to be discussing, and you are welcome. Take your popcorn and enjoy what we are going to discuss. There are discussion about the survival of Igbos, that Aku Rue Uno is the shortest means of economic revival and economic emancipation, and also taking us to a greater height in things, shame of things. That's what people have been discussing, and that's why we are going to talk about this Aku Rue Uno and why we must all imbibe the spirit of Aku Rue Uno, because with that we can always reshape things and get ourselves up and running. So the Aku Rue Uno phenomenon has been with the Igbos for a long time. I don't think there's any nationality or ethnic group in Nigeria or Africa that has that ability to develop their homeland, building roads, building all the infrastructures that the government don't usually exclusively for governments. So that's why, in spite of the marginalization and all the shenanigans and other things that happen to these great people, they have remained on top. Even there are a lot of records that come out and said among the ethnic nationalities in Africa, the Igbos are one of the richest, or even the richest, because of this. So now we're going to talk about why this Aku Rue Uno is very, very important, and why we must endeavor to move deeper and deeper on this wave of Aku Rue Uno wind that is blowing everywhere. Aku Rue Uno is very important for the sake that the government in Nigeria has not lived up to expectation. They have not actually governed with compassion, love, capacity, and intellect. So they have governed by either injustice, wickedness, or tribalism, or sectional politics. And this has affected the Igbos in the southern Nigeria and wherever they are. And this has made it very imperative that people must abide the spirit of Aku Rue Uno. Aku Rue Uno really means think home philosophy. Think home philosophy was something that had the Igbos are known for years, but after the Civil War, they were actually forced to move to another level of Aku Rue Uno, or to start this Aku Rue Uno in full force. Because without that, they would not be able to survive the wickedness that was so high in Nigeria. So that's why a lot of people started saying, okay, we lost a lot of things during the genocidal war in Nigeria and the ethnic cleansing in Nigeria. Let us now send some percentage of our wealth to our home in order to get things up and running. So many of the villages started, people started building many of the villages, doing the local electrification, which the government announced on television, but they don't usually do. People started, buying transformers. People started building schools. So people started building libraries. People started building churches, building small-scale industry, large-scale industries. People started, doing roads and other things, water facilities, and they continued on that. And at a point, the wind of it started dying down until the advent of APC government, which introduced sectionalism again, taking it to a high level, and the issue of injustice was enderman. It was so emphatic that everybody can see and know. And they started sectionalism. They increased the tempo of sectionalism and wickedness, and the bad government in Nigeria increased. And this affected that a lot of the roads, a lot of infrastructures in the Igbo areas were completely neglected, and a lot of things was happening that people were basically taking things and building some areas and leaving the others. In spite that Nigeria is supposed to be a nation, a one nation, and this has fired up a lot of people, and a lot of people started thinking that we must go back to basis. We must reinvigorate the things home philosophy, the Aku Rue Uno spirit, and a lot of people started again to to build it. This fire started burning heavily in Anambra State, Nigeria, and some other states in the southern Nigeria where a lot of Igbos are predominantly. And people started thinking, how do I help my community? There is no job, there is no good schools, there is no hospitals, the roads are in a bad shape. The government have completely abandoned us, and we cannot abandon ourselves. As the Igbo saying says, so they started pushing forward. The likes of Obi Jackson's, Bishop Zobolo, Aloysius Egwono, many of them, so many of them, Charles Cosmas Madoka, Dr. Drgodwinmaduka, many of them started, firing up. So they started saying, okay, we need to do something because the ibetos did it in the past. We are going to escalate it. Innocence did it. Let's now do our own. And they started firing up. It was huge. Everywhere was being bulldozed. Their villages were being completely changed, and people were so much joyful because this was bringing succor, bringing joy, and bringing better fortune for those villages and towns that have been abandoned. And most of the roads in some of these villages were tied. You can understand the late Tony Mars of Neni was able to tie most of the roads in the Neni. And you hear about other people like Madubuko, Benz in Madubuko, in Adaziana, and many of them. And this was moving forward, moving higher, and many of the states joining in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, in Imo State, in River State. In many of these areas, they started, I think the police moving around. I think there's a call out for, so we will continue. We will continue. Sorry about the interruption. It was the police are called for emergency and they are rushing to the scene. And we are going to continue to talk. So that's how the fire started burning mightily, burning bright, and burning greater and greater. So, and this is the reason why this Aku Rue Uno must continue. But now we must escalate it. We must escalate it to another level. Let's just look at our cities, the major cities in Igbo land. We must start building roads. We must start building roads. We cannot stop building roads. We cannot stop or waiting for the government to do it for us. We need to see how we can partner on, because if you look, we are building a lot of story buildings. We are building mega facilities. Why can't we all gather together and build all those roads in those inner streets? Let's give an example of Onitsha. If we can all say, okay, the owners, let us build most of the roads, we can do that. We don't need to wait for government. This is part of Aku Rue Uno. Remember, our people are doing that in Lagos. They are doing that in Abuja, building internal roads. So why can't we now rise up to the occasion and do that? That's our homeland. If we don't develop it, nobody is going to develop it for us. We need to do something. We need to do something. We must be proactive. We must move with speed, and we must move with passion to change our homeland, because without doing that, nobody will take us serious, and our homeland remain desolate. and our homeland remain like a desert. So we must look at doing things that we are known for. Remember, we are Igbos. We are people of unique characteristics. We are people that are passionate in development. We are people that are that change other places. Why can't we start with our homeland? Charity, they said, begins at home. And as I say, the charity must begin in our homeland, in the East, in our neighbor. That's where it should be happening, because we are great people. Professor Chikason, the Anambra State government, in one of the occasions, said that no one will take you serious if your homeland is not developed. Because if you develop your homeland, and some people, some more moneyless, and all those riffraffs, and all those Biobokums in Lagos or in the West, start to mock on you, or try to say rubbish. He said, look, I'm off, I go. And I'm them. So, and they will be begging, because they know that you have the capacity, you have a better homeland, that if they mess around, you take all your investment, you take all the things you are doing there, they will be begging you to come. So that's why we need to be proactive. We need to build our homeland. Development has ethnic connection. So you must love your homeland. You must develop your homeland. That's why this channel is quite unique in its presentation of this Aku Rue Uno and in homeland consciousness. We do it with passion, and we do it with zeal. We are zealous for our homeland, because our homeland must be the best and nothing more. We cannot continue to build other places, leaving your homeland in quarrel. We cannot continue to build only churches. We must build something that will create jobs to people. We must build hospitals. We must build schools. Not just building schools for the sake of making money, but we must build it with compassion. The schools that will give better education to our people. So that's what we are talking about. Aku Rue Uno, Amalunde Palia. We must fire on this Aku Rue Uno. We must not relent. This is the time of our revival. This is our time of real change. Let us move with passion and look at other people that are doing it. Ask yourself, have you done any Aku Rue Uno in your homeland? Have you done something tangible? Have you put street lights? Have you done CCTV cameras? Have you been able to change the narrative? That's what you need to ask yourself, and I need to ask myself. Thank you very much for joining us. I am still Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful. Remember to like, comment, and share. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful time wherever you are. God bless. Bye.